Hello?
How did you do that?
That wasn't me.
It said the host.
I made Marvin the host so he can show me how to.
All right, hold on. I'm sending it back over to you. There's two people in the thing.
Okay.
Sorry, somehow I got knocked out.
Hello?
Hello, I got
One of,
knocked out somehow.
uh,
But
one, one of the hosts did something, but we're back. Okay.
I thought I did something because I'm a little tech challenge. So I
No, you're fine. You're fine. Okay, everybody back in now. All right, we back.
No problem, no problem.
Okay, sorry about that. We had some tech things going on, per usual, on virtual learning.
Oh, right, not a problem.
Okay, Ms. Milton, do you want to pick back up with your question that you were asking?
oh, I had finished asking the question though.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just need help now. I need a solution.
I know that's right. Yeah, you had cut off right when I was about to speak. So it is extremely hectic to work in a
That wasn't me this time, I promise.
Okay.
No, her screen is just frozen. It'll come back. It was you though. It probably was you.
I apologize. Okay, I'm ready, Torrin. If you could make me
It
co-host.
only says, I guess because Andre made me the host, I can't make you co-host.
Yeah. Okay, so you can only, okay.
You got the power now.
All right, and once Miss Lewis gets back on, she has the power also for screen sharing. It's up. It's up and running.
She probably has to log back out and log in.
No problem.
Oh, it says she's still here. We'll give it a second. All right.
okay. Is it? Are we good now? Yeah. The joys of technology. So as I was saying, so high on the list, Miss Milton, is first creating a schedule. I don't know if you want to do it digitally or if you want to do this in your phone electronically. I don't know if you want to do this with a planner, but the first thing is that you're going to have to create some type of organizational schedule for yourself. I know if I did not have my planner, I think I would be insane. So I try to, first things first, is determine what needs to be planned out and what needs to be done. So I have this huge planner, and I also keep sticky notes all around my desk and in my car. And I'm just really particular like that. But creating a schedule for every single day. You can do this in your phone in the notes section. And I try to, before I go to sleep every night, make sure that I write out a list of things that I need to take care of for the next day. Because if we don't plan out a schedule, and that schedule will include what time you're waking up in the morning, maybe your daughter or your son needs breakfast before you leave and go to work, who's going to be at the house, when they're going to have lunch, what they're going to eat for lunch, what are you going to cook for dinner? If you're not cooking, where are we going to get food from? So a lot of times when we start thinking about the whole mix of virtual learning and working and all the tasks that you have to do, and remember, some of us have to be good fiancés and husbands and wives, and so a lot of things come into play when we're talking about planning out the day. So that's my first thing that I would like to tell you, is that sometimes our lives are just all over the place because we fail to plan. So try to find some type of organizational system that works for you. And then we can start talking about doing simple or little things that can help you get more connected to your kid. Because I know you said that a lot of times, you know, parents were so busy that we don't know, we feel like we're failing in the area of parenting, especially with all of this going on, because we have to work and be outside of the home or inside of the home because you're working, whether you're at home or not. So I
think that's key though, because you mentioned the planning piece. I mean, ironically, I do all of that very well for work. I think I just have to, because I do that, I write a list of everything I need to get done for that particular day. I mark it off. It gives me a sense of accomplishment when I leave for the day. But I have to incorporate that by adding, I think, you know, the things like, okay, check, Google Classroom with Jeremiah, make sure that his assignments is turned in, check, you know, to see what things he may be missing. I think what it is that I haven't incorporated those things into my planning of everything else that I typically do for, you know, around work.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and little small things like that can really overall help your stress levels. And at the same time, it can help you get into a more effective working pattern at home. A lot of times we try to think that we don't need downtime ourselves, but we do. So I have an app on my phone, it's called Calm. And it alerts me, it sends me an alert that Cat, that's my nickname, they call me Cat, but it was like, you have not taken 5 minutes out of the day to just sit and relax. So try to look for an app, because there's a whole bunch of them out there that will help you with calming yourself and trying to center yourself before you do another task, because you can do 50 different things in the morning between 7 a.m. and 11 a.m. As a professional, you can do many different things, but you need some time outside of just eating lunch, because sometimes we gobble down lunch and we're in a meeting. You need at least 5 minutes to just sit and center yourself. And I guarantee you, Ms. Melton, if you put download one of those apps on your phone. I didn't even know this existed until quarantine time came around, because it kept advertising it on TV. But I downloaded the app and it will let me know. It will send you hate mail, right? It will let you know that you have not centered yourself today. You have not calmed down. And the 5 minutes is a timer. And once you open up the app and click start, you would just have to sit there for 5 minutes, no distractions. And
yeah, I like that app. I haven't fully used it. I mean, I've downloaded and tried to what is it, like the free week or something like that, but I haven't, you know, kept it on there. But yeah, I actually did like that app.
Yeah, use the free version. I don't pay for I don't pay for it. But yeah, that, and just trying to infuse that. If you have the planning piece together and you have a piece where you can take 5 minutes out of the day to just center yourself, whether it's through prayer, whether it's just sitting there, just listening to the rain on the app, you have to find a way to center yourself. So then the chaos starts again, right? So when you have to get home, and then you have to find time to deal with your kids. So if you're outside of the home working, once you get home, you have to find time again to go over and debrief with your kids about homework, what they did during the day. So once you're sitting there, you're debriefing, then you have taught them a skill as to recording or finding a place where they're recording their assignments. So you can go over and say, okay, you need to do this, you need to do that. And you also need to use that time to open up their grade books so you can see the grades that they have. I am very, I go in the grade book every single day. So I'm not saying that you should do what I do, but Yeah, I have time. I make time to open up that grade book every single day. I don't care if it's 12 midnight. I'm opening up the grade book, having a conversation, or I'm writing down some things that I need to talk with Layla about the next day when she wakes up, because we have to incorporate this time into our schedules. I know people always hear, well, hey, you have time to go and get your nails done. We make time to get the nails and toes done. We have to make time to incorporate these things with our students. And they're learning from us. And they're seeing these things that we're doing. So a planner or something that helped me. The app that helped center me during the day. And I'm not into yoga and all that stuff, but that app really did help me. Having that conversation with your kid every single day once they close their computer. You need to just find a time to talk to them about what they did that day and see what they recorded as far as assignments for the next day, and then turning around and creating your to-do list as far as what you need to do the next day. So I know it's going to take a lot, but you know.
All right. Well, thank you. By the time I get it down, he'll be back in class.
You'll be
Right.
surprised.
But that's okay.
Miss Lewis, this is Marvin. How are you, Mr. Bird? Brother
Hi,
Bird.
how are you?
I'm doing well. I just wanted to let you know that you're able to share your screen now, as you should.
Okay. All
Mhm.
right.
And Miss Milton, you be surprised. I don't believe education will ever be the same. So I think that this virtual construct that we are in currently is never going to totally return back to normal, as it shouldn't. So these tools will, you don't worry. If you learn it by the end of the year, it'll still be utilized by the next year. I'm guaranteeing it. They're already talking about hybrid methods of learning, and whether it is actually an assistant for those students that are that need visual aesthetic. So virtual world it's not going anywhere.
That's right. And I was trying to put some cute pictures, but I can just screen share that here. There we go. I'm also going to link the presentation for everyone so you can use it at your leisure. But first, I want to show some pictures as to some different spaces that you can create for your students at home. Like I said, everybody have a different budget. I try to look at pictures just to see what I can access, but a lot of times we need visuals, just like our students. So let me, the screen is paused, right?
I'm actually, it says Zoom, so I'm not actually able to see the pictures that you're mentioning. Oh, okay, here we go. I'm sorry.
There we go.
Yes. Okay. So in my downtime, I just like to create beautiful spaces. So here is, I think it's about 10 pictures. I can try before the session is over, I can try to take some of these pictures and put them onto the presentation. But here are just some ways that you can enhance your spaces for your students. I know a lot of times we might not know where to begin with that, but as we look at different spaces, This is for a more organized parent that have the 4x4 schedule going on here with the notebooks and things available for their kid on an everyday basis. So different pictures and different things. This is more of a boys' room, I would believe. Just to have certain things readily available for your kids. Timers are also a good thing that you can have on the desk. You can get them from Dollar Tree, and those timers that sit on the desk so the students can maybe sometimes time themselves, maybe practicing their multiplication tables, even though I know there's apps on their phones and all that stuff for that. But just getting old school and going back to sit with your flashcards and learn your multiplication tables without a device, that's extremely important. So here's just some pictures as to how you can have a space. Now this student right here does not have an actual room, so look like she's in a kitchen by a window. So here's a little small space that you can incorporate in like a kitchen or a living area or somewhere for your kid to learn. Here's some other photos. So these are just some pictures, and I will, with this parent, have multiple kids, have 3 kids, obviously. So this is just also some ideas for setting up your child's space. And these pictures are normally like for any grade level. If you have a high schooler, they will still enjoy working in these areas. All right, so the presentation is here also. I will link the presentation to you all in the chat. So everything that I talked about, I will link it to you all. So any questions you may have about anything else? I like Ms. Milton's questions. So I'll copy the link and put it in the chat for you all to access.
I have a quick question as a fellow teacher as well. How do you feel about the balance of the screens that the students are utilizing? I know it comes up a lot that the students are utilizing screens a lot, and you hear it on some of the teachers use it. Some of the parents also say the same thing. What do you feel about the screens? Because being honest, I have a boys' house. There's nothing but boys in here. And after school is over, they don't stop looking at screens. My kids go to their own screens and begin to do, they're either practicing with their schoolwork or roadblocking, Fortniting, or Minecrafting.
Yeah.
So that's a boy's life. So where do you think the balance is when it comes to the screens?
It's interesting that you said that, because I just had a conversation with one of my girlfriends who's a principal, and she makes her 10-year-old totally cut off the computers, and he cannot use be on the game during the week. And I was like, that's structure. And she make him put his cell phone, like during the school days, during the school week, she make him put his cell phone on the stairs so he cannot have it in the bed with him while he's about to go to sleep. She said that she did that because he suffers from headaches and migraines, and she think that he developed those headaches and migraines from the constant screen time, because he was playing Minecraft or Roblox or something, and he would do that in between classes and then after classes, and then he's playing PlayStation. So she had to, and he started complaining about these headaches. So she said once she left the pediatrician's office and he was put on medication for having migraines, she said that she cut that out. And once she cut that out, he has less migraines and less headaches. But She's also lessening the dosage of medicine that he's taking. So I think it's really up to you and your professional opinion and feelings about how much screen time your child has. My daughter has a lot of screen time. Also, I try to limit her screen time, but then again, I don't want to say yes, no computers, no games during the school week.
What about scholastically? Because that's what we're hearing it as a teacher. You're hearing it. Well, my child is on the screen, or even though classes are summarized down, they're not the 72. We don't do in Maryland. We're not doing 72 minutes. We're doing like 45-minute sets, and then Wednesday's like a less than 20-minute set. But you hear it on the teacher's end as well. So I'm balancing it as a parent. Yes, they have a cutoff time in the evening when they're not supposed to be on, and they can't play Xbox until the weekend, things like that. But as a teacher, when you hear it from parents, it's just like, well, I have to teach them. So how do we need to balance this together, or how does that work as a team? What do you say?
Parent,
Yeah.
because as a parent, and I hope I don't offend nobody. As
No,
a
you're good.
parent, I think that is an excuse though, because most of these kids, and I have a boy too, they're on their own personal screen time more than they are in the classroom. And what I have noticed when I am home, they get more breaks, more screen saving time, lunch break. Every time I turn around, I'm like, Jeremiah, why aren't you on in class? Oh, we have a break, or it's this break. So it is not, from a parent perspective, it is not a lot of time, because I know he spends more time on that PlayStation and his phone and so forth. And I know you mentioned screen time. My husband only gives him a certain amount of time frame that he can play his PlayStation. So how he utilizes those hours, when they're gone, they're gone.
That's right.
So he has to decide how he want to utilize that time, because that's all the time he has.
That's right.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a lot. Matter of fact, y'all can keep them in class to 5 if you want.
I don't think it's damaging these kids, but I agree, Ms. Melton. But I think on the teacher side, we have to really look at how that's affected us also, because we're being taken away from our kids and we're teaching other folks' kids. But at the same time, how are we limiting our screen time? We have to look at it from that perspective also. And I think that children have the ability, just doing my own trials and studies on my own kids, I try to look at the, I know Alexandria City Public Schools sends us this safety crawl or some type of message. It's an email, and you can see how much time your child has been on a computer and the percentage. They put a quantitative number on it. They say, hey, 38% of the time your child was on a computer or using their device. So if we look at that and we think that's too much, can you imagine how much time we're actually having on the computers? So I want to say, just make sure that you find a way to minimize the computers, but at the same time, find a way to escape all of that. And maybe you can plan something again where you can have, I know Ms. Millen said, I'm tired of her with this planning, but you can plan a time where you all can just put all the devices away and just have like a movie night. And even though that's a screen, so I don't think we could really get around it, but yeah, just try to minimize the computer time, try to minimize how much time, screen time your kid had after school. So I've been reading a lot of studies about that. The more time a student has after school with screen time, that might be more damaging than the time that they're spending in school with their teachers. So
Thank
we
you.
all know what works for our kids, and try different things. So, and don't be scared to be the dictator in a situation and do like my girlfriend did and take the phones and put them on the stairwell or cut off the router. There's plenty of things you can do, but
So Mr. Long shared that blue light glasses help to also protect their vision and keeps them from getting headaches and visions. And there's also like screen protectors that you can put like on your computer to kind of, and on your phone to kind of shield from that kind of light. Um, as a early educator, I teach young kids, first grade. During the day, we have movement breaks. So even though we're in front of the screen, they're in front of the screen, but they're moving around. So they're looking directly at the screen, but they're also moving their bodies. So they're not just sitting in one place and getting all of the whatever from the screen. So that may be an option as well too. Giving kids an option to play games that get them to move around. So maybe a family game night where you guys are playing like the Wii or something like that. Just so you can still get that game simulation, but you're also moving your body physically and you're getting that brain power as well. Some folks are mentioning that the link is not being available to open. Oh, okay.
Try that one. I just saw that. It should work.
Got you. Okay. We do one last call for questions for Ms. Lewis. If there are any, you can unmute and share.
Well, I had a question, and that is, what happens? Do you have any suggestions on sort of managing when you have multiple children? Because I know that poses great difficulty when you're trying to manage multiple children concurrently with, trying to do your job as well. So I know that you're a very meticulous planner. Is there, no, that's facts, like a meticulous planner. So what I'm wondering is, what tips do you have to help parents conceptualize managing multiple children at the same time that they're also trying to work? Is there some setup that's ideal for you to be able to work and do that? Is that one of your configurations, or can you shed any light on that?
With multiple kids, you're saying, and how can you help them virtually learn all together, in one setting?
Right. So you can continue to monitor them, because that I think is, some people obviously are blessed with just having one, but when you have, multiple children that you have to, manage, concurrently, I know that poses some difficulty. So is there something in the planning or the setup that will allow parents to do that better? Because I know that virtual learning isn't going away, and even the Saturday programs now, some of them are going to be virtual. And I think that this is, I think, to Brother Burton's point, that the state director of education and our past education director, who ended the meeting prematurely. One of the things that he really brought across was, just the idea that we have to manage screen time, we have to do all that. So I guess the key is, how do we plan to deal with multiple children at the same time?
And I'm blessed with 3 boys. It's okay. We the ones that have multiple kids are still blessed, brother.
No, I didn't mean it like that, good brother director. I have 2 myself. I just I put so many years between them that they're basically 2 only children.
We did too.
Yeah, so I can not speak about the experience of the parent with multiple kids in the household during this virtual learning. How we say in the South, bless your hearts, because I know it's very difficult. But that's going to take more ownership. That's going to take more time on you to really sit down and create a plan. I'm a spreadsheet girl, so I like Google Sheets. I will plan out my Thanksgiving dinner on a Google Sheet. You have to find a way that will organize your life so that you can meet every single need of your kids. Like when I showed you in the pictures with the various stations that you can set up for your kids. Doing a single test on all of your kids to figure out what type of learning style, setting up some type of system in Google Sheets or on your phone or with some app where you can organize every single kid you have. I would keep all of their passwords, all of their contact information, all of the, like their school ID, all that counselor name, counselor email, have a spreadsheet. And I'm sorry if people are going to be like, she's so weird, but have a spreadsheet set up for each one of your kids. I'm telling you, it probably take you an hour to set up all this stuff inside of a Google workbook, a Google document or some type of Google sheet. And you can have at the bottom is a workbook where you can have tabs for every kid. So you can just open that up during the course of the day, have that readily available. And on that spreadsheet, you can even have a picture of their schedule on there. So you have the schedule, you have the teacher's email, you can hyperlink it. So if you need to email it, you can just click on it. You have to make sure that you are, if you have a student, and everybody knows their kids, if I have a kid that is not very good at reading, so make sure that you have all the apps and they're taking out their time to sit and read during the course of the day. Sometimes you might have to set a reminder in your phone to let you know that it's reading time for Jabari, whomever your child may be, because those things are important, because here's the time for us to really sit down and dig into ourselves and try to create this sense of organization in the midst of all this chaos. Because if we're not organized, our kids won't be organized and everything will just fall by the wayside. So, Mrs. Shabazz, I recommend electronic scheduling for your kids, having a place where you can just open it up and have everything that you need for each one of your children. If that doesn't work for you, if that's too complicated, like I said, I don't know what's going on with the links. Hopefully it works now. But I can maybe I can do a sample and I can send a sample, put a sample schedule or something inside of the chat before we leave. I can try and, put something together where something that can help you just to get an idea as to how organized you will have to be. And then you can monetize this stuff, because once you learn how to be organized, you can teach other parents how to be organized. And that'll be an extra thing for you. But I stress organization, Mr. Shabazz, and just trying to find different things to help every single kid in your household, especially if all of the learning styles are different, just finding some type of way to help them be more successful than they already are. I don't know if that answered your question.
No, it did. I just I just transposed it for people who aren't as technologically savvy, and it sounds like we could probably achieve that with a list for each kid. So just
or a notebook,
right? Or yeah, exactly. And
I'm sorry.
Right. So no. So your comments were well taken. I would probably just work from a list and have everything on one page for each kid.
Yeah, and that's good. Keep a notebook. And even if you want to keep a separate binder for each kid, like you can just print off, because you have people, Mrs. Shabazz like to print things out. He likes to look at them, right? I like to look at it on a screen. So you can print those things out and have a go-to binder for each kid, just so you know the basic information that you may need on an everyday basis. Just so you know, if you have to print out a schedule for practice and maybe, I don't know if kids are actually still doing football and going to dance class, all of these things should be somewhere where it's tangible, where you can just pick it up and access it. And take notes on your kids too. I do that. I know it's weird. Don't worry about it.
No, I don't think it's weird because I see the results. Miss Lewis is modest, but her senior is on a full academic scholarship. So if she's so these methods lead to free college. So that's a no-brainer. I'm listening.
Yeah, well, thank you. Your Mr. Shabazz, he's too kind. His daughter graduated early. Okay, I think she only did 3 years of college. So it goes to show you that you can do it either way. But I'm urging you to find a way for you to plan. Somebody put in the chat box to get a planner, and yes, that's important. A planner. Some type of notebook. I keep a notebook in my purse. Make sure that you have the ability to write stuff down or put stuff in your phone. But sit back, like just take one day out of the schedule and just create these things for your kids. Write down every single class period that they have, when they have their breaks. How can you set up a matrix where you can sit with them during one of their breaks? If you have multiple kids, when are you going to visit every single room or every single place where your kids are studying? When are you going to allow them to take those headphones off and start to talk to you and debrief about what's going on during the day? So those little small things, putting small little affirmations on their desks or around the room or in the bathrooms when they're brushing their teeth. A lot of things made me so much better as a person when I started planning and organizing myself. And there's also YouTube videos that you can, anything you want to know is on YouTube. You can just incorporate anything. They even have like games that you can play virtually with your kids, like during their lunch breaks. And let's say you're at work, Ms. Milton can send a link to a Kahoot to her son, and she knows he's on break, and they can play a game on a computer. Those little things, actually, remotely, they can play that game. So little things can help, and just making sure your babies know that you are 100% in it, just like they are. So.
Yes, I would just add really quickly to that, whiteboards help as well. That way you can write down things and then erase. If you have children who are old enough, they can add things to it. So you don't have to remember to write it down. They can just say, hey, look at the board. I wrote a note about my class or, practice or something that I got to go to. That helps me. And I know in my classroom, that helps as well too. Me and my co-teacher were kind of just writing notes. I'm keeping notes that way.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, friends, I do want to thank you all for coming to our Fresh Start Parent Summit. We have some parents, some educators on the line. So I just want to thank you guys again for coming. Thank you, Ms. Lewis, for sharing that wealth of knowledge with us about the environment for our kids' learning, time management, incentives, which is really important, communication, and of course, organization. Thank you so much for the link. We will follow up with that as well. If there are any no more comments or questions, we can end right here tonight. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even introduce myself this whole time. My name is Torrin Cooper. I am the Director of Education or Committee Chair for Education for the Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated Alpha Sigma chapter. And I really am proud and I'm excited that you guys came to share your evening with us tonight.
Brother Torrin, may I add one thing? No one, please, no one delete these virtual apparatuses. They go by grade level. Keep them. Have your kids use them when we go back into the building because they are excellent. Class, what I was going to say, my kids are in French, so they're in French immersion. So things like Duolingo. Of course, we always have in music, we have musictheory.net, all of these apps that are being used for your kids. Kahoot, use these in at home for homework. When they come home and they say, I don't got homework, you can always say, no, I got something for you. So don't get rid of the apps. We did it with the books. We always had activity books for them when they came home and they said they ain't got homework in English. I'm like, okay, no doubt, but I got homework in English at the house. Go get that book. So now we can move from the book to a virtual. So please don't erase the applications. You need to use them. I will. I definitely will. Wonderful job, brother director. You said it right the first time. This is a program, man. You good.
All right. Thank you all. Thank you again, Ms. Lewis, for coming out. We will see you at our next event.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
I got you, brother Shabazz, too, for unloading on me. Okay, I got you, bro. You got that one. I did mess up where I said I went exit and I was like, oh no. I forgot he gave me hosting. Oh my God. But it's all good. Great job, brother Torn.
Thank you, brother. I think they're fixing to have a meeting on here.
Who's fixing to have a meeting on here? Oh, the same link.
Yeah, so we got a jet.
We got a jet. Okay. All right.
I'll follow up with you later.
Wait a minute, what meeting is it? We can crash the party.
Oh, we probably shouldn't do that, but
let's crash it.
Let's crash it. Yeah, what is it? Yeah. Hey, we brothers, what's up? I'm in there.
Probably shouldn't.
Brother Second Vice, is he on here? He probably on here. Like, you guys get off.
I'm still on here. I do want to remind y'all that y'all are recording.
Oh shoot.
Oh, it's okay. We can always edit it. And me and brother Torrin know how to edit, man. We can cut this like Final Cut Pro, baby.
I got you. All right, I'm out. I'll see y'all later.
All right, good night, bro.
Meeting though, for real.
Huh?
What's the next meeting though? I'm on a roll. My screen time is 38%.
No, you're not invited, sir.
I'm assigning you the hostship now.
Yeah.